Rana have something bigger on his mind when he carried out or helped carry out the 26/11 attacks? Was a similar plan being envisaged for all of India? And more importantly, what did he tell David Coleman Headley soon after he and the Lashkar executed the massacre of over 160 innocents? It's been just 24 hours since Tahawwur Rana has been taken into India's custody, but already more details are tumbling out about how the horror of 26/11 is just the tip of the iceberg that the Pakistan Army Lashkar asset had planned. The NIA formally arrested Rana after his arrival at the Palam airport, producing him late last night before special NIA court at Patiala House amid heavy security. In court, the NIA sought his custody for 20 days, saying that it suspects Rana wanted to target multiple Indian cities 26/11 style. Arguing for his extended custody, the NIA said that Rana's interrogation was essential to uncover the full extent of the 17-year-old conspiracy, which would involve taking him to several locations to retrace past events. The statement was made before Special Judge Chandrajit Singh, who eventually granted the NIA 18 days of Rana's custody to further probe the alleged conspiracy. The court directed that Rana undergo a medical examination every 24 hours, that he be allowed to meet his lawyer every alternate day. However, these meetings must take place in the presence of NIA officials and within audible distance. Rana has also been permitted to use only a soft-tip pen during his custody, presumably so that he can't cause any self-harm. But every step of this operation has been planned in intricate and excruciating detail. The process of bringing back Rana began on Wednesday, where US Marshals handed him over to the NIA in Los Angeles. Rana, at that time of the handover, was shackled in chains around his waist and legs. Subsequently, a special US plane flew him out of LA and touched down at Palam Airport on the evening of Thursday.
On April 9th, the United States extradited Tahawwur Rana to India to face justice for his role in planning the horrific 2008 Mumbai terrorist attacks. Some people watching may not remember these, but I encourage you to look them up and to find out exactly how horrible this was and the importance of this situation today. These attacks resulted in the tragic loss of 166 lives, including 6 Americans, that shocked the entire world. The United States has long supported India's efforts to ensure those responsible for these attacks are brought to justice. And as President Trump has said, the United States and India will continue to work together to combat the global scourge of terrorism. So he is in their possession, and we are very proud of that dynamic.
Basically, NIA sought 20 days police custody, and after a lot of deliberation, the court said that they've given 18 days police custody. And uske baad he'll be brought back, and if NIA wants more time, then they'll move an application. There was nothing about food, but for medical, they've been told that a comprehensive medical test would be done when he's taken into custody and before he's brought back to court at the end of the remand. And in the meantime also, all his medical requirements will be taken care of. He has requested that anybody representing him in court, the lawyers, especially since we are from DLSA, we are doing our duty, so that public outrage should not be there against the lawyers, because at the end of the day, we are just there to protect the civil rights of anybody who's coming into courts.
Now, a 12-member NIA team is questioning Rana on his role in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack. Some of the gaps they want him to fill is about the details of his mobile and landline phones or the VoIP numbers that he and David Headley used to stay in touch with each other during the visits they made to Mumbai to carry out a recce. He will also be asked about all of his and David Headley's contacts in India and abroad. In Pakistan, he'll be asked which are the officers from the Pakistani Army or ISI that Rana spoke to before and after the 26/11 attacks. And in India, he will be asked about all the people that Headley met, befriended or socialized with. Rana is also likely to be asked about whether he travelled to Pakistan during the planning and plotting stage. Finally, the NIA will question him about whether he has linkages to the series of bombings that took place in Mumbai and across India between the years 2005 and 2013. On his very first day in Indian custody, Rana was questioned for just about 3 hours today. Sources in the anti-terror agency say that he remained non-cooperative throughout. He was asked about his family and close contacts, but evaded the questions, saying that he doesn't remember anything at all. Now today, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio also said that the US had extradited Rana to India to seek justice for the 166 people, including 6 Americans, who lost their lives in 26/11. He said that for long America has wanted justice for those deaths, and I'm glad that day of justice has finally come. But the more interesting and horrific details about Rana were revealed in a Department of Justice press release that had been put out. This readout says that after the 26/11 attacks, Rana called up Headley and said that the Indians deserved it. The readout also makes mention of another intercepted conversation where Rana is reported to have told David Coleman Headley that the 9 Lashkar terrorists who were killed by the Indian agencies during the course of 26/11 must be given the Nishan-e-Haider. What is the Nishan-e-Haider? It is Pakistan's highest gallantry award. It is the highest award that they are given for war. No wonder then, irrespective of however much Pakistan has tried to fool the world by saying we have absolutely no connection to 26/11, well, Tahawwur Rana wanted Pakistan to reward the terrorists of 26/11, and similar sentiments were also echoed by General Pervez Musharraf many years ago when he said that terrorists operating from Pakistani soil are their heroes.
रिलीजियस मिलिटेंसी हमने पाकिस्तान के हक में यहाँ इंट्रोड्यूस की सोवियट्स को निकालने के लिए।
ठीक है।
हम मुजाहिदीन लाए पूरी दुनिया से, हमने तालिबान को ट्रेन किया, उन्हें वेपन्स दिए, उनको अंदर भेजा, वो हमारे हीरो थे।
ठीक है।
ये जो हक्कानी है, हीरो है हमारा जी।
ठीक है।
30 का हीरो है।
बिल्कुल है।
ओसामा बिन लादेन हमारा हीरो था।
CIA का भी था शायद।
यस, ये ज़वाहिरी हमारा हीरो था। तो माहौल अलग था, अब माहौल तब्दील हो गया, अब वो हीरो जो है वो विलेन बन गए। ठीक है। अब आप 90s को लें, कश्मीर की, अब आप क्योंकि हाफिज सईद वगैरह की बात कर रहे हैं, देखिए वहाँ एक फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल स्टार्ट हुई कश्मीर में, 1990 में शुरू हुई। वो उनको मारा गया बुरी तरह से, इंडियन आर्मी ने मारा, वो भागकर पाकिस्तान आ गए। अब पाकिस्तान में फिर उनको हीरो रिसेप्शन दी गई, उनकी बिल्कुल ट्रेनिंग भी होती थी और हम उनके सपोर्ट में थे कि ये मुजाहिदीन हैं जो इंडियन आर्मी से लड़ेंगे अपने हकूक के लिए। यहाँ फिर ये लश्कर तैयबा वगैरह बनी, बहुत सी 10-12 और भी बनी, वो हमारे हीरो थे जी। वो इनको अपने भाइयों बहनों को कश्मीर में अपनी जान के ऊपर खेल करके जाकर लड़ रहे थे।
Now remember, all this while Pakistan, despite Pervez Musharraf, what he has said, despite what Rana himself said in a phone call with David Headley, has tried to publicly distance itself from Tahawwur Rana. What is their excuse? That he hadn't renewed his Pakistani documents in over 20 years. But a 2023 letter reveals otherwise. In fact, this letter says that during Rana's legal fight to evade extradition, when his habeas corpus was rejected by a US court in 2023, in this internal communication, Pakistan's embassy in Washington, D.C. asked its consulate in LA to closely monitor this extradition case. They were instructed, that is, the consulate of Pakistan was instructed to provide regular updates on the case and what future steps were going to be taken by Rana's legal team. So let's understand this. On the one hand, you are saying we've got absolutely nothing to do with Rana. He's not Pakistani, he's Canadian. Then why are you so anxious to follow what is happening in his case? Why are you trying to get your consulate to figure out whether Rana is going to be extradited or not? Why are you so concerned about his legal strategy? Incidentally, the US Department of Justice's website, where Rana's handover images were posted, the caption for the image reads, Tahawwur Rana, a Pakistani national and a Canadian, citizen. Now, the case of Tahawwur Rana, now that he has back, predictably has huge ramifications for politics in India as well. Remember, soon after the 26/11 attacks, there was a huge uproar, with some leaders in the Congress trying to pass it off as a conspiracy by the RSS. The entire phrase of Hindutva terror or saffron terror became very fashionable at that time. Digvijay Singh is one name that comes to mind. Now, cut to 17 years later, the Congress doesn't seem to have learned too many lessons from the way they have burnt their fingers in the 26/11 case. And yet again, when they were asked about the return of Tahawwur Rana, look at how they responded.
किसको लाया गया है? अच्छा, मुझे आप पूछे तो हमको लगा कि 15 लाख रुपया खाते में आ गया, आप इसकी बात कर रहे हैं। कमाल है लेकिन नहीं, अमित शाह कह रहे हैं, अमित शाह को लाज लगता है? अमित शाह को लाज नहीं लगता है ना? थोड़ा सा भी लाज है उस आदमी को? है? अपने बेटा को बीसीसीआई का सेक्रेटरी बना दिया, अभी आईसीसी का चेयरमैन बना दिया, लाज है उसको? थोड़ा ना, कम से कम ना लोगों के अंदर ना आंख में ना लाज शर्म होना चाहिए। मुद्दा दिन भर भटकाते रहना, कभी इधर कभी उधर, कभी वक्फ बोर्ड तो कभी कुछ तो कभी कुछ। एक चीज, एक डिलीवरी बताइए जो एनडीए सरकार ने किया हो, जिसपे जो है उसको लगातार इस देश के लोगों ने वोट दिया। क्या महंगाई कम हो गई है?
हमारी मांग है कि जिस तरह से अजमल कसाब के खिलाफ पूरे भारत के कानून के अंतर्गत जो पूरा मुकदमा चला है, कसाब को पूरा अपना बचाव करने का, अपने वकील देने का पूरा अधिकार था, उसने वकील दिए, उसको पूरा अपील करने का मौका मिला हाई कोर्ट में, फिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, उसके बाद उसको सजा हुई। तो इसी तरह से राणा का जब ट्रायल होगा, उसका जब मुकदमा चलेगा, तो इसी तरह से उसको पूरा कानूनी तरीके से अधिकार देकर उसको जो भी सजा हो उसको स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा। हमारे देश में कांगारू कोर्ट नहीं चलेगा।
बेसिक जो कार्य है वो कांग्रेस सरकार ने किया था, यूपीए सरकार ने किया था, तब वो आज आ पाए। वैसे 11 साल हो गए इनको, है ना? उस समय हम लोगों ने जो काम किया वही आधार बना, और वो आज इस देश के एनआईए के कब्जे में है।
यूपीए के दौरान में एनआईए का गठन हुआ। उससे पहले एनआईए थी नहीं, नेशनल इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग एजेंसी। चाहे आपको मालूम है कि सीबीआई सब देखती थी, लेकिन ऐसे हादसे और ऐसे हादसों के लिए एक नया कानून चाहिए था। और मुझे याद है कि उस समय मेरा ख्याल चिदम्बरम साहब होम मिनिस्टर थे, तो एनआईए का गठन हुआ। कहने का मतलब यह है कि मैं यूपीए सरकार को मुबारकबाद देना चाहता हूं कि उन्होंने प्रयास करके, डिप्लोमेटिकली प्रयास करके, एनआईए की इन्वेस्टिगेशन टीम भेज के, अरेस्ट वारंट इशू करके, चार्जशीट फाइल करके आगे इसको बढ़ाया।
मेरा मतलब ये है कि राणा को लेके आ रहे हो, ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे ट्रम्प से टैरिफ माफ करा लिया हो आपने। कोई क्या बड़ी बात कर दी आपने? जिन्होंने गुनाह किया है।
Now, while there's no end to politics, our politicians can definitely come on the same platform when it comes to national interest, or, well, the people will give the final verdict. Time now for a very quick break. Back in a couple of minutes, and on the other side, we're going to tell you what is this Shah Bano plan that is being promised to make the centre buckle.